back to StylishNaija YouTube channel. Welcome back, guys. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers, my old subscribers, my new subscribers. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to my channel, like my video, and then share my video. If you actually find this video helpful today that I'm about to do, please do not hesitate to hit on the like button. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, like my video, and then also share this video. And then do not forget to hit on the notification bell just below to get updates whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a quick one for you. I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew a twist dress without a pattern. Yeah, I'm not going to be making use of a pattern, and I'm still going to be achieving it perfectly well. That's what I'm going to be showing you how to do today, how to cut and sew a twist dress without a pattern. So what I have here, I actually have a scuba fabric here. So this is like is more than 1 yard. It's like 1 trouser length. So yeah, that's what I got, and that's what I'm gonna be using to show you how to cut it. You can see scuba, they are usually really deep, as that's the length is usually very deep. So I have like 60 inches. Yes, so this is the one trouser length. So what I'm just gonna be doing, I'm gonna be folding it like this into 2 in order for me to impute my measurement. Since this dress is not going to be having a zipper, so I'm just going to be cutting both the back and the front. I'll cut it together at once. So I'll fold it into 4 now, like this. So the full length of this dress, I'm just going to be making use of everything that I've got here. I'll leave half an inch up here. I'll leave half an inch. So I'll leave half an inch up there. So the next thing I'll do now, from this point, I'm just going to take the full length measurement. And what I have here is actually 40 inches. So the length that I actually want for this dress is actually 38. So I'll use the remaining 2 inches as my allowance. So I'll just leave it at 40 inches. So the next thing, I'm going to be inserting the measurements now. First of all, I'll start from shoulder. From my shoulder, that's from here. For a beginner, when you're making a dress like this, a gown, so you take your measurement from your shoulder to your under bust measurement. What I have here from the shoulder to the under bust measurement is actually 14 inches. So this is like 14 inches. So this is 14 inches. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, from this shoulder, again, because this chalk is not really showing, so that's why I decided to make use of the marker. So it's not showing. So from this shoulder to your waist measurement, I actually have 18 inches. Yeah, that's from here to here. I have 18 inches. So I'm just use my marker like this to indicate it for you to see. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, from between your waist measurement and your hip, I usually make use of 9 inches. This is like standard for somebody that is of average height. For somebody that is taller, you can make use of 10 inches. So I'm just going to be using 9 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is my 9 inches. So this is like my 9 inches. So I'm just going to put it here. So this point, this is where I'm going to be inserting my hip measurement, in this point. So, and then the full length of the dress. So the next thing I'll do now, I'll measure the neckline. So for this dress, I actually want the front neck to be a V-neck. So I want the front neck to be a V-neck, while the back neck is going to be a high round neck. So what I'm just going to do now, I'm just going to measure first of all the width of the neck. So of the width of the neckline. So I'll use 3.5 to measure the width of the neckline. I'll use 3.5 to measure the width of the neckline. So this is like 3.5. So the depth for the back neck, I'll cut out the back neckline first, then before I'll cut the front. So I'll just make use of like 3.5 inches. So I'll just make a curve like this. This is for the back neck, while the front neck, since I say I want a V, so for V's you can actually measure to see how deep it should be. So for this, I really don't want it to be too deep, so I'm just going to be going with 7.5 inches. So I'll just take it like this and measure 7 inches. At the time I finish sewing and turning, it will return back to 7.5, so I'll use 7 inches. So this is for the back, so I'll cut out the back neckline first. So when I'm done, I'll come back and do this. I'll just leave it like this and then continue with my measurement. Then from this point, I'll measure the shoulder. So from this point, I'll just measure the shoulder like this, which I have. The shoulder for this dress is 14 inches. So I'll measure it like this. So from this neckline point to this place, that's from here. Since I already cut out the neck, so that's why I had to use here. Still the same thing. If I had not cut it out, I would have used it from the top point. So from here, I'm just going to measure my armhole, my round armhole. And for this round armhole, I'm going to be making use of 8 inches. So I'm just gonna rule it like this, so it will be obvious for you to see. And then I'm just gonna curve it out like this. So from this point now, from this point, I'm going to be slanting my shoulder. So I'll use 1 inch to slant it. So I'll slant by 1 inch. So I'll just take my short ruler and then slant it back to this neck point. So I'll slant it to this point. So I'll now cut out now. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be measuring this part, which is the this part is not really necessary here. So what I'm going to be doing now is the waistline measurement. So that's what I'm going to be measuring. And for this, I've decided to use 40 inches. Why I'm using 40 inches is because after the twist, after achieving the twist, I'm still going to be trimming it to the exact measurement of the dress in order not to run into problems. So that's why I just want to make it a little bit excess. So I'm like adding like extra 5-inch allowance to it. It's supposed to be 35 inches, but I'm adding extra 5 inches to make it 40 inch. So when I'm done, I'll now trim it to the exact shape of my bodice. So I'm making use of 10 inches now. This is 10 inches. And then I'm still going to add allowance to it. So this is for this. Then for the bust measurement, so this is for the waistline measurement. So for the bust line, I'm going to be using 9. So when you divide 36 into 4, you have 9 inches. That's for beginners. We usually divide into 4 because you can see the fabric is folded into 4. So that's the essence. So I'm just going to add 3 inches, between 3 and 4 inches allowance. I'm just adding extra allowance like I told you initially, so in order not to run into any problems. So that is just the essence of this. So I'm just going to be connecting my lines now from this point to my waistline measurement that I did then. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is the hip part of my dress. And for this dress, the hip, naturally the hip is 40 inches. So I'm going to be adding another 5 inches to it to give me 45 inches. So that's I'm 5 inches as the allowance. So I have 10 inches here, which is for 40 inches. So and then I'll add 5 inches allowance to it. So I'm just like going to be using the whole part of my dress. So I'm just going to curve it like this to get my hip line. And then after the down hip line, you extend it a little bit by 2 inches in order for you to know where to stop your curve, so your hip enters properly. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is the down part of the dress. The down part, that's for my dress, depends on how tight I want this down part to be. So for this, so I'm just going to be making use of another 10 inches for the down part, which is like 40. Then I'll add just 1 inch allowance to it. So I'm just going to slant this point to this point now. I'll make use of my long ruler. So you can see what I have now. So this is my dress, so I'm just gonna cut it out now. So I'm going to separate the front from the back now, and then this is the back piece, so I'll just keep it on the side like this, and then I'll be working with the front for the twist. So the first thing I'll do is to get the midpoint. I told you initially that the front part is going to be a V, so now I'm going to be cutting out the neckline for the front. So I'm just going to be extending it to this point from here like this. In order for me to get my V, I'm just going to be extending it like this. So this is for the front. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, when it comes to this twist, this middle part, that's the waist part, so it's really key. So because this twist is going to be here, so the next thing I'm going to be doing, they say I should stop clapping whenever I'm making videos, so so I'm just gonna put it like this, and I'll measure. I already have my waistline here, so in order to be very sure what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna be making use of my waistline. So I'm gonna be measuring the midpoint, that's from the waistline. This is my waistline mark, so I'm just gonna be measuring it 4 inches, which is like the darts line. You know, when you're making a dress, for the darts between one cut of the dart to the other, most times it's like standard, you can use 8 inches, which is 4 or 4.5. So I'm just going to be making use of 4 inches for this. So this is where I'm going to be stopping my slash, because this, since I'm not making use of a pattern for this dress, I'm just going to be slashing directly on my dress. So this is where I'm going to be starting, and then the next thing I'll do from this waistline, I hope you can really see what I'm about to do now. From the waistline, this is the waistline, so I'm just gonna take my ruler like this and then slant it to the hip point. From this point like this, slant sheet to the point where the hip starts from, and then I'm gonna be slashing it like this. So from the top like this, I'm just gonna be slashing it like this. So I'll just keep it out and then root it properly for you to see. So let me go over it again. What I did, I measured 4 inches, that's from the waistline. I measured 4 inches, that's from the middle, from the mid center front. I measured 4 inches. So when you spread it open, that's 8 inches, so 4 inches. So from there, I just made a rule like this, just indicated it like this with no measurement actually. Then I now placed on the beginning of the hip, I now placed my ruler and then ruled a line coming out from my side seam line. So that's just basically what I did. So now what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be slashing it open, and then I'm going to be stopping at this point. So I'll take my scissors like this. So you can see what I have already. It's slanted open now. So the next thing I'm going to be doing again now, I'm going to be separating this front piece. I'm going to be slashing it open from the middle. So I'll just turn like this in order for me to be able to do that. So you see what I have now? It's slashed open. So I'm just going to be separating it together like this now. So this is the wrong side. So I'm just indicating. So this is the right side. So see what I have? This is one side, and then this is the other side, and then this is the other side. Sorry. So this is what I have now. So I'm just going to be doing it like this. I don't want the chalk side to show. So this was the wrong side. I actually marked the wrong side. So what I'm going to be doing now, so you can see my dress, so I'm just going to take it like this. I hope you can see it properly. And then take this piece like this, and then bring them together like this, and then take this piece from this point. I'll just take it like this and then bring like this. You can see what I'm doing. You can see I crossed it like this. See what I did? This is this, this is this. So you just cross like this. This is one cross, and then you cross again. And then you cross again. So when you cross again, you just try and find the points together. So you can decide to mark it for you to know that this side is for this side like this. You can label this A, and then this is A, and then you can use a different color to measure this B, and then this is B, in order for you not to mix them all up. So I'll take this like this, and then my B point, you can see what I have. You can see the dress is already formed already. So the next thing I'm just gonna be doing now, so if you want it twisted more than this, you can still twist again. So it depends on the length of your dress. So that is why I forgot to say it, you should add enough length if you know you really want to twist it very well. So but for this, if I twist too much, it will be short. So you can see what I have now. So you see what I have. So this is like my dress is almost done. That's the front piece. You can see it now. So if you want it twisted again, you can twist and then twist again. If you want it really twisted again. You can decide to do that, but I don't want it, so I'll just go with the first one, which is two twists. I'm just gonna leave it like this. And then leave this point like this. So the next thing I'll do now, the first thing you do is to stitch this point. So you take this part, you flip it like this, and then take this A part and A part, and then you take it to the machine. You can see what I have here, and stitch as close as possible. You can see you stitch as close as possible. So I'm just going to use my pins to pin it up like this. And then I'll do the same thing to this side. I'll just take it like this, and then take this point, shift it to the middle as close as possible. So firstly, I'll just take it to my machine and run a stitch here, and then come back and show you. Okay guys, welcome back. You can see, so I finished stitching this point and then this point. You can see it from inside. So I finished the stitching. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be finishing the neckline. So this is the top part, this is the neckline. So in order to do this, I'm going to be using my hemming gum. That's what I'm going to be using. So all I'm going to do, I'll just fold my V inside like this. I'll fold it in like this, and then fold this other side also, because this dress actually I'm going to be using a camisole to put it. I'll put on a camisole inside. So the next thing, after finishing up the hemline like this, so I'm just going to be pleating. I'm just going to be bringing this part because of the extra inch allowance that I added to the shoulder line. So that 2 inches allowance that I added to the shoulder line, I'm just going to be pleating it up like this before I'll be connecting the shoulder. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'll use my hem gum now, finish the neckline, then come back, finish the neckline, and then come back and show you. So you can see guys, so I finished hemming the neckline like I told you. I finished using my hemming gum on it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, like I told you initially, I said the extra 2 inch that is here, I'm actually going to be pleating it like this for the neckline. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'll come to the down part. So I'll just fold it like this. I'll flip it over. You remember initially that I used a lot of allowance for this dress, so I'm going to be stitching the midpoint now. In order for it to give it fit, I'm going to be stitching it by 1 inch. So it's 1 inch. That's what I'm actually going to use to stitch it like this. I'm going to stitch it by 1 inch, this midpoint, because I have enough of allowance in it. So in order for it to fit properly, I'm just going to do this. So I'll stitch this point with 1 inch, and then I'll keep this aside, and then let me show you what I'm going to be doing to the back piece. For the back piece, you can decide to go to either use your normal regular waist dart for it. That's putting your dart here, darting it here and here by using 8 inches. You can decide to actually do that, or you can decide to slash it open from the back. You can slash it open. You can decide to open it from the center and then hold it from the middle in order to give it fit. So you have 2 ways of doing this. So I'm just going to go and do that, and then come back to show you how to connect because of the shoulder, how to connect the back and the front piece. So you can see, guys, so I have the back and the front. So I'm just trying to trim out the edges to make them equal. So I'll trim the down part now. So for the shoulder, this was what I was explaining initially. That's the front shoulder. You can see what I did. So the 2 inch, the extra 2 inch that initial 2 inch that I added to the allowance, depends on how full you want the pleat on top to be. You can decide to add more to the shoulder line. So when you add more fabrics to it, that's more allowance. It will, when you fold it, by the time you pleat it, it will be fuller. So this is it. So this is the back piece, and then this is the front. So I'm just going to go ahead and then fix the front. That's the shoulders. I'll connect the shoulders together and then go ahead and finish everything, and then come back and show you how it will fit on me. So that's just basically how to do this. So you can see the front neck I was talking about. So it's crossed. You can decide to use a camisole. You can decide to use a button, put a stamp button just like this here in order to close so it doesn't open much. So this is it. So you can see the down part. For this part, if you actually want it to the folds, that's the fold, that's the twist. If you want it to be more from the back, you can actually adjust it by using a needle and thread to just tack more what do you call it, more fabrics. Just tack it more together, and then you get more fuller pleats. So I'm just going to go ahead now, finish everything up, and then show you the final look. So welcome back, guys. So you can see I finished coupling everything together. You can see the front twist that I made, that I told you. So you can see the down part, I actually did not run a stitch on it. I used my hemming gum to finish it up. I just put my hemming gum and then iron. So this part I'm just going to stretch it out later more. So you can see, look at the back of the dress. You can see the back, it's just well perfected. And then the hip part, then you can see this front part that I was talking about. So you can see it's just inside. So my V is just okay. So the shoulder part that I was talking about initially, also the lines on the shoulder, so you can see them, the lines. So like I said initially, if you want those parts, if you want it fuller, so you could make the shoulder more by adding, I added 2 inches. You can decide to add 4 inches, and then you pack, and then it will still be perfect. So you can see the front twist. So this is how you achieve a front twist without a pattern. So at the end of the day, it's the results that actually matters. So that's just it. It's the result that actually matters. I'm still clapping my hands. So guys, I'm done with this video. So if you find it helpful, please do not hesitate, like the video, share it, and then give me a like. Hit on the like button if you really like what I did with this front twist dress.